fucking cool. Don't no CBI business go down without me.
Now, Diamond vs Jenard is something that's been brewing ever since his release from prison, because as they both show, they have different ways of running the CBI, and Tommy coming into the picture has definitely complicated things for Jenard. We've seen Tommy and Diamond's relationship grow, but his relationship with his brother Jenard fractured to the point where we've seen them both fighting for control over the CBI. But we learned that Jenard, he took a dive and let his brother win. So in this video, we're going to run through why Jenard may have let his brother win, and it links in with him using the surrender tactic, which is Law 22 from the 48 Laws of Power, but how he could turn this surrender into regaining his control and power back. But he definitely needs to master the art of timing. So we're going to run through an analysis of Jenard and Diamond's relationship and take a deeper look at the impact that Tommy has caused. So let's start with this, the relationship and friction that Tommy has caused between Diamond and Jenard, because Tommy's role definitely can't be underestimated, because he's been playing on the leadership of the CBI ever since he saw the power struggle between the two in Diamond's barbershop in episode 2. We then saw Tommy planting the seed in Diamond's head, telling him that his brother is controlling everything and running Diamond's organization that he built his way. And we saw Tommy continue to play Diamond and his position with the CBI when he went to meet them at the gym, and Tommy knew exactly what he was doing in this scene.
So Walter Finn already down?
Mm-hmm.
What? Come on, you seriously thinking
Yo, me and Big Bro having a conversation
yeah,
here.
Boy, you and Big Bro ain't having shit. You know.
And Tommy's basically been sussing out who's good to work with, because not only is he in a new city, there are new players and they do things differently here in Chicago. But Tommy is someone who doesn't follow rules, he makes them. But with him wanting to create his own organization, he's testing everyone to see whether they'd be a good fit for him, which we all know Diamond is. But he knows that Jenard is no good for him, because he can't be controlled and he's definitely more of a wild card compared to his brother, who he has more of a balance with and who he struck a bond with, which is similar in ways to which he had with Ghost, but also because they understand what it takes to build an organization from the bottom. And Tommy is doing something that we only saw in glimpses in Power. He's thinking, he's planning, and he's utilizing all those people around him, not just trying to kill his way to power, but rather using those already in some sort of position of power in Chicago to get his. For example, like Diamond, who's in control over the CBI, where he'll then eventually be in a position where he can take over. But even before Tommy came into the picture with the CBI, you could tell there was a split and divide between Diamond and Jenard, and this is despite the love that they have for each other, because their conversation in the barbershop in episode 1 told us that they have different ideas on how the business should be run, hence why I think Jenard bought this barbershop to actually keep Diamond out the way, so he could carry on running things. But obviously it's not played out this way, and you could tell by Jenard's facial reactions very early on that he didn't agree with Diamond's way of thinking. And when Elijah, Marshall and D-Mac stepped to Tommy, they only followed Jenard's orders, not Diamond's. We never heard Jenard saying, "This is my big brother, so if you take orders from me, then you take orders from him," because Jenard still wants to be seen as the leader of the CBI, the man who held it down for 15 years. But there's a clear difference between the two in their personalities. Jenard is someone who's clearly the hot-headed one out of the two, and Diamond is someone who definitely has ghost-like traits because of how he's so calm, he doesn't want to kill, and makes business-based decisions by thinking before he acts. For example, not wanting D-Mac and Marshall carrying guns, similar to how and why Ghost never wanted people in his organization strapped. And maybe this is why he struck a connection with Tommy straight away, because Tommy's got this void in his life to fill, not just because of Lakeisha, but because of Ghost's death as well. But Diamond is also very well educated because he spent his time in prison reading all the classics from history to philosophy. But let's not get it twisted, Jenard is also very well educated himself, because just before Diamond went inside for 15 years, his character description told us that he'd been accepted into Brown University, but he parked his ambitions of academia to take over the reins of the tactical drug organization that Diamond built, and he's the one who held it down for 15 years.
I am a grown-ass man, D. I earned my seat. I gave you that seat. You might have been the motherfucker to give me that seat, but I'm the one that made us relevant.
So even though Jenard is hot-headed, we definitely can't underestimate him. So why exactly did Jenard take a dive in the fight with his brother for control over the CBI? Because Jenard's decision definitely looks confusing.
Hey, you saw that dive in the ring like a motherfucker. He really thought he put your ass out to sleep.
Yeah, and he bought it.
And of course, nobody knows the real answers as to why he threw the fight yet. But maybe it's because Jenard knew that the older members of the CBI only fuck with Diamond. So even if Jenard beat Diamond, which it sounds as if he could have, and with his MMA experience, all he had to do was use them legs, but he knows that he may not have had the full backing from everyone in the CBI, and he didn't want to create this divide in the organization with Diamond just being released from prison. Not yet anyway, because Diamond is the OG leader of the CBI. So why would Jenard want Diamond to think he won? I think he's waiting for his moment, because as we went through, Jenard isn't stupid. He is very well educated, and he's someone who held it down as the leader of the CBI for 15 years, as all the other crews around them fell apart or started to beef with others. And this is what will eventually happen with the CBI in my opinion, because who Jenard does have control over at this moment is Elijah, D-Mac and Marshall, and maybe a few others who are loyal to Jenard. But I think he could find himself losing control over D-Mac as well at some point in the future, which would just add to his frustrations with Tommy, because Tommy's here in Chicago creating his own organization, starting with Diamond and Liliana, but D-Mac is his nephew, and sooner or later when he finds out that D-Mac is family, this changes everything, because then I see D-Mac being taken under the wing of Tommy as his mentor and father figure, and a relationship that he's never had with JP. So this is definitely another problem for Jenard. But let's have a look at this from a different perspective. Now, does Jenard have a right to be angry? Because he's the one who kept their organization together while Diamond was inside. And as we went through his character description, he even stopped short of pursuing his education to carry on what Diamond built. And while all the other crews broke, he's the one who kept the CBI together, when he could have very well gone in a different direction and gone to Brown University, and his life would have been completely different to what it is now. But all of a sudden, ever since Diamond's been released, he feels pushed aside as his little brother, who wasn't even invited to the meeting with Walter Flynn. And Tommy doesn't even acknowledge him as the leader of the organization, because he's seen the internal power struggle between the two brothers in the barbershop. But Diamond probably thinks his brother is the same as before he went inside, but he shouldn't be underestimating his younger bro, because Jenard letting Diamond win in the fight shows that he's willing to back down, but only strike when the time is right. And I do believe we're watching Jenard using principles of Law 22 from the 48 Laws of Power, and this is the surrender tactic, transforming a weakness into power. Because surrendering the way Jenard did is a way of gaining power in the future, because he's realized that he's not in a position of strength, because Diamond is the OG leader and many of the CBI members still follow him. So in this moment, he was definitely better off surrendering rather than fighting for the sake of his honor and reputation. But this now gives Jenard time to build from strength to strength and wait for a perfect moment to strike. For example, in Power, we saw Kanan do this multiple times, where he had to take a step back and accept defeat. But he always said this.
You know, the easiest way to sneak up on your enemies is to make them think that they already won.
So is this what Jenard is doing in the case of the fight that he took a dive in? Because the easiest way for Jenard to sneak up on Diamond is to make him think that he already won. I certainly think so, because Diamond shouldn't be underestimating the man who controlled the CBI for 15 years. Because if he masters the art of timing, which is Law 35, then he could very well regain this position of power from his brother. Only time will tell. But what we do know is, this is only the beginning of Jenard vs Diamond. So let me know your thoughts on Jenard vs Diamond, and is Jenard waiting for the perfect moment to strike? And is Law 22 the reason why he took a dive? Drop all your thoughts down below in the comment section, and of course if you're new to the channel and you haven't done so already, then remember to smash the subscribe button if you want to see everything Power Book 4 Force and Power Universe related. But as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.